Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Explain Like I'm Grel. So I'm Gorang, I'm the CTO and co-founder of Bonzo Finance Labs, and today I'll be teaching Grelf about another new concept in terms of blockchain.
And I'm Gerbert the Grelf, the number one meme coin on Hadara. And, I'm not much to look at. That's kind of my calling card, I guess. It's not the best thing to be famous for, but, we take what we are given.
Yep, thanks for the intro, Grelf. So before we start, should we do a day of the word? Oh, sorry, I mean to say word of the day.
Yes, we should. We should. I think I see it now. Oh, well, this is a word I'm very familiar with.
What is that?
The word of the day is crypto.
No, that's crypto.
That's what I said.
No,
Crypto.
it's crypto. No, it's crypto.
We're
It's like
saying the same
me
thing.
trying to speak French. Yeah.
We're saying the same thing. I don't really understand, but yeah,
Okay,
let me read it again. A crypto.
no, crypto.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
is this a
Let's
prank?
agree
That's
to
what I'm saying. Anyways. Let's try to move
let's
on here.
agree to
We got some
disagree and
important
yeah,
stuff. Okay.
exactly. So yeah, today actually we're going to talk about our own protocol, Bonzo Finance, which is a fork of Aave V2, and especially about liquidations and health factor and all these things. So what actually happens when you supply and borrow on Bonzo Finance? Yeah. First of all, do you know what Bonzo Finance? Do you know what is Bonzo Finance?
Yeah, it's the monkey website with the little
Oh
monkey.
yeah, exactly. It's a monkey. The name of the
Yeah.
monkey is Bonzo, and actually, when we started the project, it was inspired by Brady's childhood. So Brady, who is my co-founder,
Brady was a monkey.
no,
Oh my
Brady
god! I
wasn't a
did.
monkey.
You'd never know. You'd never be able to
Although,
tell. I mean, that doctor
you know
must have
what?
been world class.
On the Reddit, Brady has been called a poser, so you might be right. But he's not. He's not a poser. He's not a bonzo. He's not a monkey. Brady used to watch a movie called I forgot the name, but yeah, it had a monkey called Bonzo, and yeah, so we got the name from that. Anyway, so today we're going to talk about liquidations on your borrowed positions. So first of all, let me explain what happens on Bonzo, right? So if you want to borrow any asset on Bonzo, which is again a fork of Aave V2, you have to supply other assets or the same asset, which is more than the value of this asset. So let's take a simple example. If you want to borrow USDC, which is a US dollar stable coin, you need to supply, let's say, H bar. So if you supply, let's say, $1,000 worth of H bar, you can borrow, $700 worth of USDC. Yeah, is that
But
clear?
not all
Because
of
that's
it.
a very
You
simple
can't.
concept. Not all of it. Yeah,
You can't
you
borrow a
can't borrow all of
thousand.
it.
Okay.
No, you can't borrow 1,000. And I'll tell you why. So this is actually a concept that comes from TradFi, traditional finance, right? So let's say you go and you try to buy a house back in your woods, and you go to a bank for a mortgage. What the bank does is bank does not give you loan of the 100% of the value of the house. Let's say you're trying to buy a house worth $1 million in the back of your words, the bank might give you like 80% or 90% of the value. So it will give you like 800,000 or 900,000. So that's called loan to value ratio. Is that clear? That's a very important concept. LTV,
Loan to value. So yeah,
loan
that's the
to
money
value.
they give you versus. So, but wait, the value. The
Mhm.
value. So in example with the bank. So the bank has the full value or you have the full value?
No, so what happens is the bank takes your house as a collateral, and the value of the collateral is $1 million. But the bank gives you a loan only up to 80% of that value. So that's the loan to value. So you're not getting 100% of the collateral's value. You're getting only 80% of the collateral's value. Make sense?
Okay, but you still have to put up something.
You still have to put up something. And that's exactly how it works on Bonzo Finance. You have to put up a collateral, which could
You have
be
to put up your
HBAR or
house?
Grelf. You can't put up your house right now because your house cannot be tokenized, but soon, hopefully soon.
Hopefully soon.
Uh,
What are you guys
Hopefully soon.
after? Are you trying to take people's houses?
No, we're not. There are other
But
platforms
it would
on
be
other
nice, is what
blockchains.
you're saying. You'd like
Oh
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh my
If someone
goodness.
manages to tokenize houses on Hedera, we would love to list them on Bonzo,
And then
definitely.
you and Brady are gonna move in.
No, it's a virtual house. We cannot move into the virtual house.
Okay. If you say so, I'm going to keep my coffee table away from Bonzo. I've seen
Cool.
Brady
So
go by
yeah,
and eye it.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's the loan to value. So let's come back to the Bonzo example of your virtual assets. Let's say you supply Grelf tokens or HBAR tokens worth $1,000, and currently, let's say the LTV for Grelf is 70%. You will be able to buy, or you will be able to borrow only up to $700 in USDC. And now the thing is, based on your LTV, so that's your max LTV, right? So your 70% is your max LTV. And if you borrow up to your max LTV, there's another metric called health factor. And health factor is again a complex metric. It depends on the amount that you have borrowed against the amount you supplied, all these things. And your health factor then goes to like 1.01 or something, right?
Is
So if
that
you borrow
good?
up to $700, that's bad. That's very bad. Yeah, because your health factor should not go below one.
But if it's
Yeah.
1.01, I'm good, right?
You're good. Yeah, you're good for a while. Now that's where the problem lies, right? So if your health factor is very close to one, let's say it's 1.01 or 1.02, what happens is the value of your collateral keeps changing because HBAR and GREL, these are not constant value assets, unlike your house. Again, house values are also not constant, but when bank gives you a loan in TradFi, they consider the value as a constant over the next, whatever, 2, 3 years, four
Well,
years,
at
right?
this part I understand. The price of Grelf is certainly not
Yeah,
constant.
it keeps changing. It can go up. So if the value of GRIL, if the value of your collateral goes up, your health factor might go from 1.01 to 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, even 2, if the value of GRIL like doubles, for example.
Okay.
But yeah,
So it can
but
go
on the
good, too.
it can be good too. But on the other hand side, if the price of GRIL goes down, then your health factor might go below one.
And then what happens? That's when you
Then what
take the
happens?
coffee table, isn't it? Oh, I knew it. I knew it.
Exactly.
I knew it.
That's when people called liquidators, they come in, and liquidators come and they liquidate your loan. That's a bad thing.
Who are
You
these
know why it's
people?
bad?
Who are these
This
people?
can be anyone. This can be anyone. So this is actually a feature of RV. This is not a bug. It's actually a feature, and it's great because RV is something what they call as an over collateralized loan system. So they always need, so all your loans need to be over collateralized. Your collateral and your health factor cannot go below one. If it goes below one, what that means is you could have bad loans in the system. And some banks have gone down. Famously in 2008, these big banks went down, and that was because of bad loans. People were buying houses and they were taking mortgages on that, and some people were doing remortgaging on that as well. And some of these house prices were highly inflated, right? And that's why the loans were not really backed by anything. Similarly, on Bonzo, if your collateral price goes down suddenly, your health factor goes down, and there's a chance of having a bad loan in the system. And that's when the liquidators come in and they liquidate your positions. Is that clear, first of all? I'll go into what is a liquidation, but do you understand the reasoning
Oh no,
behind that?
that makes sense. It's nice that the home banks fixed that problem from 2008. It's nice. They learned from their mistakes, so that won't
Okay.
happen again.
I wish, man. I wish they had learned from their mistakes, but
What are you
yeah.
saying?
You don't know, man. We still might have some of those problems, not to that extent, but
Are you
again, I
saying
cannot
that no?
speculate.
But there's no way that houses are overinflated in value right now, especially in the
Uh,
United of States. Come on.
yeah, yeah. I hope you're right, man. Cool. So coming back to Bonzo, I said if your health factor goes below one, what happens is someone can come in and they can repay your loan. So they can repay up to a maximum 50% of your loan. So in our example, when we had borrowed 700 USDC, which is $700, someone can come and repay up to $350 out of that. And for this, they get your collateral. So they will get 500 of your grant tokens. And not just 500, in this case, there's something called a liquidation bonus. So a liquidation bonus is a bonus that the liquidator is going to get. So let's say if the liquidation bonus is 10%, then the liquidator will get an additional 10% of your tokens. So it will get 500 plus 50 tokens. So the liquidator will get 550 tokens from your Bonzo account, Bonzo pool, to
So they're
say.
making
Uh,
bank.
they're making money. Not really, in a sense, like in terms of dollar value, they're like net, but they're getting your assets in the hopes that the Grelf token will go up and they'll actually make money on that. Again, we cannot talk to their motivations, but that's the way it works. So you liquidate someone,
They
you repay
definitely
their
think
loan.
that, yeah.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
can't
I think
talk
so.
to their motivations, but I think they definitely think that.
I hope so. Yeah. So essentially, the way it works is you repay someone's loan, you get their collateral, and you get something called a liquidation bonus. So you get additional collateral, and that's bad for you because let's say you did not want to sell your Grelf, right? You wanted to take a loan against that. You did not want to sell your Grelf, but because of this liquidation, you had to forcibly sell your Grelf at, let's say, a bad price, which is not good for anyone. So yeah, it's
Oh.
very important to keep like a good margin on your health factor. So usually we recommend to keep like 20, 30, 40% margins. Do not let it
What
go
is a
close
good
to
health
one.
factor number?
I don't know. It depends on each asset, right? So if you look at a blue chip asset like HBAR, then I think, I don't know, 25, 30% could be a good margin. So 1.2, 1.3. Again, do not take it as close to that.
So
Usually
it
keep it
sounds like
about two.
financial advice is
No,
free
exactly. I'm not,
flowing
I'm
here.
not
I
giving
love it.
financial advice.
I love a good financial advice.
No
So
financial advice.
what is a more safe health factor number, I would say then?
Uh, I would say it's like you try to keep it about two or three. That's like really safe because in that case, again, you never know, right? Because two
Yeah,
months
you never
ago the
know, yeah.
price went down by 50%. So yeah, usually it's safe to keep it like twice or thrice the amount that you borrowed.
So two or
But yeah,
three. All
don't.
right, all right.
Yeah, that's like usually safe. Otherwise, if you take it too close to one, you are at a risk of liquidation and you're at a risk of losing your assets. So yeah,
And we don't want
very
that.
important to keep an eye. No, definitely, definitely. Great. Yeah, that was about it. Do you have any questions on this?
No, my main one was what's a good number? Because a lot of stuff I can't focus. It's hard for me to like read or understand concepts. So I just think don't go to one.
No,
That's
no, one
helpful.
at all, at all. Yeah, try to
1.5,
keep it.
okay.
Yeah, still risky.
1.001, maybe not.
No, not
Won't
at
do
all.
that. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And especially when you're dealing with volatile assets with lower market cap, like our own Bonzo token or Grelf token or any other smaller tokens, it's very important to have a good margin of safety, right? So keeping your health factor about two or three even, I think that's advisable. So yeah, again, we cannot tell you an exact number because the prices can move up and down. So yeah,
But it's good to have a general idea. I think a lot of people are intimidated by a lot of stuff. So
exactly.
I learned what some good numbers are.
Great, then. I think that's about it. If you don't have any other questions, we'll see you in the next episode of Explain Like I'm Grell.
I learned something.
Great. Thanks, Grell.
Is that our theme song?